Okay, go ahead, Lair.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. And this is Lair Pierce. I am the Community Outreach Director for the Brookside project in Walnut. And I'd like to thank Laura and Tri-Counties for their help in putting this together. Some of you may be familiar with Brookside from the last time we went through the city process. Some of you may be new to, and I'm looking forward to this opportunity to explain what we're up to. Just a little bit of paperwork before we get started. I think the easiest way to handle questions is for you to post them in chat, because I'm not the host of this call. The little raising the hand thing may confuse me. So it would be better if you posted them in chat. I have the chat window open, so I'll see when any questions come in. So with that as that's the extent of the paperwork that we've got to deal with today. So I'm going to go to the PowerPoint presentation, which you should be seeing now. There we go. Okay, so here we are. This shows you, first of all, where we are. This is Lemon Avenue going up this way, and I hope you can see my cursor. And this is La Fuente, the Albertson Shopping Center, the fire station. And the Brookside property sits right in here. Goes up all the way to Meadow Pass. The Catholic Church is there on the other side of the street. These trees represent the north end of the property. So let's go to, oops, I jumped one. What's happening here? Okay. One thing I want to say at the outset is that I have a little bit of a disclaimer. All of the images that you're going to see and everything that I'm going to be talking about is based on the plan that we submitted to the City of Walnut. It's the plan that the environmental impact report is based on. And as we go through the public review process, as we're reviewed by the Planning Commission and the City Council, some things could change. They could ask us to make a change in the plan, and we'll do that. But this is the best that I've got to work with right now. It's what the city reviewed, and it's the official. So we did meet back in 2021, I believe, for a webinar back then. Since then, what's changed is we have a new plan. It looks a lot the same, but the lots are larger and there's one less of them. We've done a whole raft of studies working with the city and the city's consultants and our consultants. We've completely restudied the entire project and done a whole new environmental impact report. We've done a lot of little tweaks to the design. You might not even notice them, but there's a lot in there that makes this a better plan. Oh, there's my disclaimer box. I forgot that I made it automated, animated. So some elements of this can change. So the main entrance is off of Meadow Pass. 25 of the 27 lots enter off of Meadow Pass. And it's going to be an incredibly nice community. We designed it, as it says at the bottom. We're aware that Walnut's reputation is a community that's got a lot of single-family homes on large lots. That's primarily what you go to Walnut for, and that's what we're building. These homes in this image just are representations. There's no design of homes yet, but they are sized to the lots that we're building. They're representative of what could be built there. The top image shows what it'll look like a couple of years after it's built. The bottom image shows the same view in about 10 years when the trees have had a chance to mature more. So it's going to be a very nice community. You know, my wife was a realtor for a number of years early on, and I talked to her about it. She said what she would do is when she had somebody who was looking for a home in Walnut, she would look for a neighborhood like this to drive people through to show them how nice Walnut could be, and that's really what we're trying to build at Brookside. So here is our site plan. Again, Meadow Pass, La Fuente, Lemon Avenue. These are a total of 27 single-family home lots. The lot sizes range from a 28,500 square foot minimum to a I'm sorry, I got a little bit confused right there because right now I can't see the chat, so I'm working to get that in. Okay, now I can. 28,500 square foot minimum up to a maximum. Our largest lot is 50,200 square feet. 47% of the lot is open space. If you all are familiar with the old Brookside Equestrian Center where we're building this, Lemon Creek and all the woods around it flow right through the middle of that lot, and we are protecting that as permanently protected open space that will be there hopefully forever. And we are also very aware that this is a very wooded lot. So we have a very aggressive tree plan. We're actually going to have more trees on the lot after we're done than there are on the lot now. We're going to be replacing non-native invasive trees with native California trees to make it more in tune with the California environment. And of course, as you'd expect, this will be a homeowner community. Okay, so if you look at this picture, you can see that quite a lot of this site is where the old equestrian arenas and stables and things were. And that is where we're going to be building. And that allows us to protect all of this area. This is typically what you see when you walk onto the site nowadays. Taking a closer look, I'm going to first talk a little bit about the site plan. These are public streets that come into the project. It's not a gated community, and it's all front-loaded single-family homes. And as I said, 25 of the 27 are accessed off of Meadow Pass, and these two are accessed off of San Vicente. And that's a change from the last plan that we had to make in order to put a stormwater treatment, retention and treatment basin in here, which is allows us to protect Lemon Creek better. So we lost one lot in order to do that. Now let's zero in on these lots right here. As you can see, the lots extend all the way from the street, I think it's called Street C right now in Brookside, and they extend all the way over to Lemon Avenue. So this is probably about a 28,500 square foot lot here. Now, while the owner owns that entire lot, the open space portion of it and the public trail portion of it is covered by permanent easements that protect that land. I had a lot like that when I lived in Orange County in Coto de Casa. My lot was bigger than what I could use. I had an area where my house was built and where I had my yard and where I could build a patio, put in a swimming pool. And that was all a pretty big sized lot. And actually this lot here is going to be way bigger than mine was in Coto. But then there was a fence and there was the land that I couldn't touch. But it was there permanently, and it protected, it made that lot, my lot, it's going to make these lots very unique, unlike a lot of other lots. Where do you go that you have a stand of old growth woods and a creek on your lot? So that's how this is designed. We've been asked, is that a common thing in Walnut to design your lots like this? And it really is. We went through Walnut lot by lot through the city, and there are over 200 lots in Walnut that are designed just like this, that include some amount of public open space or a public trail or a creek. And it's a very common way to subdivide a development in Walnut. What separates ours from the others is that our the open space portions of our lots have easements on them that permanently protect. The trail that runs through, we're calling the Brookside Trail. It's the main equestrian trail that you can walk on right now. It is not a public trail, but we've never restricted access to the property, so people walk on it all the time. And maybe some of you have enjoyed a stroll through the woods through the Brookside property. It is not built to city standards right now. It's not a city trail. So what we're going to do is we're going to improve what you see on the left so it looks like what you see on the right. And that means topping it with the right, grading it, topping it with the right kind of topping, putting in the fence fiddle. And then we're going to dedicate it to the city as a permanent part of the city's trail system. And I read a few years ago that trails were the most popular amenity in new home developments. I don't know if that's still true, but if it is, we've got a trail. Now, I told you that the houses are not designed yet, but I wanted to give you an idea of what they might look like. These are not drawn by an architect, they're drawn by our planner, and they're only drawn to represent how a house could be positioned on the lot given Walnut's code. You know, what are the required setbacks? What are the massing requirements? What are the maximum heights? So that's all that this represents. And I wanted to show it to you in two ways. The top stretch of houses visualizes a flat street within the Brookside development. So there's no 2-to-1 slope requirements or 3-to-1 slope requirements between the houses. So that would show you as close, you know, basically as close as the houses could get, as tight as the lots could be. The bottom one shows a slope street where you have a slope requirement that you have to meet under the code, and that stretches the houses out a little bit more. So it shows you two ways, but what both of these show is sort of a maximum home size that could be put on the lots as we've drawn them. And we expect that to be, you know, 4,000 square foot, a 5,000 square foot house typically would be on there. So that gives you an idea of how nice the Brookside community is going to be. And I'm realizing as I get to this slide that I may have been speeding up a little bit. So if you wanted me to go back and show you something again, just please put it into chat and we can pop back to that slide. So this is what we have in front of us right now. You know, we have been working on this plan for over 2 years. We've been working very, very closely with the city's development team. And I have to say, they're fantastic. I work on projects throughout Southern California and Northern California, other states, and the folks at Walnut have been just terrific, very responsive, very helpful. They know what they need to do, and sometimes they say no to us. They listen to us, and they take a lot of our ideas too. So it's been a very, very cooperative process, and I got nothing but compliments for Joelle and Chris and the other people in the planning staff at Walnut. We are going to have a community informational workshop on October 9th at the Senior Center in Walnut. That's on La Puente, right next to City Hall. Our entire planning team is going to be there, and we'll have displays set up around the room. You can walk around the room, grab some refreshments, talk to the people who worked on this plan, and get all of your questions answered, and invite you to come and get into a lot more depth, get into conversations with say our traffic engineer about the traffic that the plan will generate. And by the way, if you're curious about the traffic that the plan will generate, it's only 27 houses, so it doesn't hit any kind of threshold. It's under the California Environmental Quality Act. A project like this doesn't meet the threshold that they now evaluate traffic studies under the vehicle miles traveled rule. Under the old rule where you looked at congestion, it creates no significant impact. There's just not that many trips in a day that these little number of houses will generate. So that's the sort of stuff that we'll be talking about to the people who come by. Just yesterday, I mailed out 525 invitations to our neighboring houses to invite them to that community. So please do come. I would love to meet you in person and answer your questions. We're having it on the 9th because our Planning Commission hearing could be as early as mid-October, a week after our scheduled workshop. It could slide to November because they still have to write the staff report. But that will be a public hearing, and there'll be a chance for the public to address the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission will deliberate on the plans and make a recommendation into the City Council. And that meeting will follow hopefully in November so that this could be wrapped up before the end of the year. And then we have about 12 to 18 months where we have to get permits. There's state permits, federal permits, and city permits that we have to get. And then finally, we'll be able to start grading and construction. And somewhere 18 months, 2 years down the road, we'll be ready to sell houses. So that's how it works. Now, what are the benefits to realtors from a project like Brookside? Well, first and foremost, there is the potential for some sort of new home sales cooperative opportunity. I can't speak to that because we are not the people who are going to be making that decision. It's the home builder that's going to be making that decision who's selling the houses. And we may be the home builder in partnership with somebody else. We may sell the approved lots to a home builder. We may sell them as custom lots. But those sorts of decisions aren't made until the project is approved because, as I said at the beginning, the project could change as we go through this process. So we don't know what our final pro forma is. We also don't know what the market's going to be like when we come to the point where homes go for sales, and all of those things factor into whether or not there's a cooperative program with local realtors. Speaking personally, I think it'd be great if there was, but that's not going to be my decision, and that decision is still a couple of years down the road. So please, if you're interested, do what I'll be talking about in a little bit, and let us know about your interests so that we can stay in touch with you as time goes by. But what always happens when new homes sell is that there are resale opportunities. There's going to be 27 people who buy these houses, and almost all of them are going to sell a house somewhere in order to buy that house. And what typically happens with homes like this is that most of the buyers come from pretty close by. And I would guess that most of them would come from within the Tri-Counties area. So there will be some resales, and when those people sell those houses, there'll be another range of resales. And I don't know, I saw a number once that a new home sale triggers 3-point-something resales typically. So we're going to be creating a little mini bubble in the market as our homes sell. And then there's also the potential for higher appraisals in the area. I'm sure you all are familiar with this, but a lot of people aren't. And there are studies out there that show that if you build a nice new house that is at or above the existing market, well built with good materials, it will typically lift the appraisals of surrounding houses because, you know, it'll interject higher priced home sales into the market. So that's always a plus for realtors, I think, unless you're trying to get somebody qualified for a loan. And in that case, I apologize in those instances. And then also, it just helps Walnut's image to have another nice new neighborhood that you can show people through. So, first of all, on this slide, I just want to point out the image on the right. I didn't change that from the last PowerPoint that I made for Tri-Counties. I made that in the peak of COVID. We had all our public hearings on Zoom. We didn't talk to each other in person. We didn't see each other in person. And I just left that up there as a reminder of how things used to be. And aren't we all happy that that's not the way it is now? But anyway, here's how we can help each other. The first way is the easiest way. Just go to our website, brooksidefacts.com, and you can scroll down to the bottom of the website. You get to a Talk to Us page. On the Talk to Us page, just click the box that says, I support the Brookside project. You can type a little comment in if you want to and send it to us. And when we go to Planning Commission, I'm going to print out all of those emails that came to me saying, I support Brookside, so that the Planning Commission can see the amount of people in the community that support the project. That's the simplest way to do it, and I encourage you, as soon as you get off the phone, off the Zoom call with me today, go to Brookside Facts and click that supporter button for me, and I would be very, very grateful. Another thing you can do is to send a support email to the city. That's Joelle Guerra's address right up there, and that will go into a packet that the Planning Commission and the City Council will see. And I will be happy to help you with that. At the bottom of this slide is my phone number and my email address. Write them down and call me or email me if you want any help on an email that you want to send to the city, or if you want to speak at the Planning Commission or the City Council. I'm happy to help you with comments on that, although you don't need it. You guys are all realtors. You know what to say. Just stand up and say, I support the website, the Brookside project. We need new homes in our community. It's important to the people who live here in the economy. Thank you very much. And that's all you need to do. And it really, really counts for a ton. And the other thing that's happening so much nowadays, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this, is the persuasiveness of social media. And you know, the one thing that you could do that I really appreciate is if you see something, a social media post that you know from what you heard today just isn't true, call me up or email me and let me know it's out there. And we can put a comment up and straighten up the public record a little bit for that, because we really want to try to counter misinformation. And whenever there's a new development nowadays, there's misinformation about the development. Or you can, you know, post your own comment. I saw a presentation on Brookside today, and I'm really looking forward to having the chance to offer these new homes sometime in the near future. That'd be great. We'd love it. If you know other people who would support the project, again, give me a call, give me an email, and let me know about them, and I'll reach out to them. And I'm going to work with Laura. I'm going to assume that all of you want updates on Brookside. If you don't want updates on Brookside, please let Laura know, and she'll tell me not to put you on my follow-up list. Otherwise, as we go through the process, I'll keep you posted on where we are, when the Planning Commission is scheduled, when the City Council is scheduled, when we got our final permit and we're ready to start construction. You'll be in the loop through the rest of the process. So with that, I'll give you one more chance to write down our website name if you didn't do it on the first pass. I urge you to go there. And with that, I am open for any questions that you may have. I did not get any during the call and chat. So you can also just, I think, Laura, they can unmute themselves and ask me a question if they want to. Nobody's restricted, so go ahead and do that if you'd like. Wow, I must have done a great job. Oh, here comes one. Oh, thank you for the update. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. If no one has any questions, I'll just hang here for a second and we can sign off. Well, again, thank you so much. And I really do encourage you to participate in the public process. I know it's a little scary for realtors to stand up in public when there's some people who don't like things. And I totally get that. And I forgive you in advance if you decide that it may not be good for your farming activities to do that. But if you feel comfortable supporting us publicly through an email, through a letter, or coming to, you know, even if you just come to a public hearing and take a seat and clap when nice things are said, that's important too. You don't even have to say something. And you're welcome, Monica, and you're welcome, Sharon. Oh, Sharon, a reminder, Tri-County's Tidbits is going to feature me in the next time it comes up. And Sharon says, I'll be there. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you. Okay, well, just getting a lot of thank yous, and I can't wait for future updates. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Larry. And with that, I will let you get back to your very, very busy days. I really appreciate your time today. And Laura, thank you again for everything you do for,
You're welcome.
for
Thank
me
you.
and for all of Tri-Counties. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, Lair.
Thank you.